So how can investors bulletproof their savings while keeping an eye towards their retirement? CNBC Edge now from two top financial planners. In Urbana, Illinois is Mary McGrath at Cozad Asset Management. In Washington, Manisha Thakor, author of the Financial How-To on My Own Two Feet. Welcome to both of you. Welcome to Power Lunch. Mary, let me start with you. Break it down for me. What would you do with your active portfolio right now? How would you reallocate it? Not your 401k, but your regular active portfolio.
Well, Melissa, this isn't time to do any knee-jerk reactions to your asset allocation portfolio and start making some big changes. But what you might want to do is sit back and think about whether the asset allocation you had there in the first place was appropriate. Because about 2 years ago, everybody was so optimistic that they wanted to be 90% in stocks. And maybe that wasn't the right place to be in the first place. So I think you want to sit back and just look at it and say, is this where I should have been to start with? If you're sitting on about 60% stocks and 40% fixed income, you're probably in a good asset allocation strategy, and I don't think you're going to need to make any real major changes.
But still, we're looking at your chart right now, and it looks like you say that you should be about 45% in stocks. That would be ideal in equities?
Yeah, well, when I say 60% stocks, I mean I'm also taking into effect the other categories like commodities and real estate, putting those into the equity sector as well, because I would not consider those to be fixed income. So okay. I think, again, if you've got about 40% in that conservative side, you can probably weather this storm on the other side of your asset allocation.
Tell me how you would allocate a retirement account right now, because I think that's a question that all of us get a lot.
Well, right now, I think what you want to do is think about what the U.S. economy is doing in relation to the global economy. And a year ago, you know, everybody was very bullish on international. And right now, I think most people are believing that our economy will come out faster and better. So they're looking more at the domestic rather than the international. And that's where you might want to be making some changes.
Okay. And Manisha Thakor, let's talk about your asset allocation. First, for your non-retirement account, you're one of the brave souls out there, Manisha. You've got 75% stocks. Is that right?
Well, Dennis, it is. And let me say, I want to give some straight talk on asset allocation, because the truth is there is no one-size-fits-all solution. It's just like asking, how does a country get out of a recession, or how does a nation end a war? The answer is very nuanced. It depends on a lot of factors. So I have 3 simple tips for CNBC viewers. Number 1, first, before you think stocks and bonds, I want you to take that cash and stash it away. 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses is the minimum you need to have tucked in cash. And I'd be so brazen to say anything you have to spend over the next 5 years that's large, down payment on a home, college tuition, into the cash bucket.
Wow.
Okay. And your other 2 tips really fast?
Step 2, now you're ready for asset allocation. For the average viewer, it's going to be 75% stocks, 25% bonds, because you've already tucked away the cash. But the math to figure out your specific situation is 120 minus your age for women, 110 minus your age for men.
Right, so that's got, in fact, we have 2 charts for a woman, 45 years old for her retirement account now. You still see a 75-25 stocks versus bonds split, right? And then for a 45-year-old man, you use the rule of 110 minus your age instead of 120, because obviously you think men are going to die 10 years earlier, and you've got men 65% stocks if he's 45 for retirement and 35% bonds, right, Manisha?
Precisely.
Okay, good. Mary, do you want to give us any last wrap up there from your end?
I would say she's a little more aggressive than I would be, but I think one thing is true: no one size fits all.
All right. Mary, Manisha, thanks to both of you for joining us. Some interesting advice there.
Thank you.